Taking the victory lap, Joe.
Take the victory lap.
Amazing the number of votes that came in yesterday.
Yep.
Let's open up the chat.
Yep. Chat is open.
We have some sound on my page, Joe, from Peter J. Holt.
Yeah, get it. Had a long weekend, dude.
I know. Congratulations to you, man.
No, thank you. I finally was done yesterday. It's like, thank God. And shout out to our boy Sean, man. He did a great job over there at the PF Chang's.
I like what Pete Aguilar says right here. We did it. Morning, fellas, we did it.
Yep, we sure hell did it. And you know what? Propositions A and B. There was a certain side of town that helped get that, get it over the hump.
North side for the win.
Yep.
I almost nailed the percentage, by the way. Talking to my Gabby about it.
Oh, God. Yes, Fernandez is on cue here.
Where the dreams don't fade from the river walk nights to the Alamo shade. We rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210. Oh, it's the life that we chose.
We're rising together on a Victory Wednesday. Prop A and B passed in San Antonio, passed in Bexar County. That's right. The Spurs are getting their new arena downtown where the Institute of Texan Cultures once was. My name is Mike Jimenez, joined by Fernandez and Joe Garcia. Fellas, we're taking a victory lap today. Feel a little bit bad for Puro? Not really.
No.
Not really.
No.
But we're going to talk about how the north side came through for the city of San Antonio for the Spurs when it came to it all. It's an exciting day. Gino Ortiz-Jones goes down in flames yet again. We're going to hear
Speaking
from
of
Peter
victory
J. Holt.
laps.
Yeah.
Speaking of victory laps, I'm gonna bust this out for Prop A and Prop B, baby. I'm gonna bust this out for Project Marvel, and there's a Phoenix story about this that we can get into a little bit later. But the belt's coming out today, boys. The belt's coming out today.
What is it? What is it, Rick? Good morning to Spurs fans and Spurs fans only if you voted for Prop A and B.
Exactly. Today was a specific tweet. It was good morning to Spurs fans who voted yes and Spurs fans who voted yes only.
Right. We're powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. I love our chat. There's a chat from a comment from Sananto Vato. Says all who voted against it can't enjoy the fruits of our labor. Oh wait, they can't go there anyway. Damn.
He's saying they can't afford it? Is that what he's saying? He's saying they can't afford it. Hey, remember that Padre? Remember that priest that got up and said he can't afford games anymore and they can't go? Hey, God don't like liars, bro. God don't like liars, bro.
But Joe, if you could go onto my Twitter account, we got to show that map that I posted.
All right.
And Jeff Garcia updated it later on. But there is a clear distinction as to who voted for these props, and who didn't, right? And Michael Carlos of San Antonio Current has been on and on about how this was going to fail. This was going to fail miserably, he said, right?
Yep.
And he even said, I went to this one precinct, and everyone there was telling me that they voted against Prop A and Prop B and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have been saying on Twitter for the past 3 weeks or so that the top voting precincts for early voting were where? Brook Hollow, 281 and Bitters.
North side.
Encino, north side.
Yeah.
Stone Oak, north side. Alamo Ranch, West Bexar County. Alamo Heights, the 09ers, right? And you look at the map, the dark green voted in majority for Prop A and Prop B.
Mhm.
The ones in the light blue, which is the west side, the east side, and the far south side, voted against. Now there are pockets of green on the south side, so
Mhm.
that wasn't the entire south side that voted against it. There were parts of it that did, but look at that big blob of green on the north. Basically, basically the loop of 1604 going from uh, basically Petrenko Road all the way through to Encino, 1604 north. If you were outside the loop on 1604, you were voting for this, and the numbers came in, Joe. Prop B barely passed. I talked to my daughter about this. She was leading the coverage for KSAT 12. She asked me, she goes, Dad, give me a prediction. I said that it would pass with 51.8% of the vote. It passed with 52.1. And last night, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I talked with James Pledger from San Antonio Sports Star, and he was like, isn't this embarrassing? Isn't this embarrassing that the Spurs only got 52% of the vote? I'm happy that they won
See,
the
I
selection.
don't I don't get that, or I mean I do get it, but I saw a lot of people saying that, you know, that it was close and all that, and I mean I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you would think it would be, um, you know, a landslide, but then again, you know, the vote for Gino Ortiz Jones. Look how that went. So I mean, I wouldn't say it's embarrassing. I mean, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, a win's a win, dog. I mean, at the end of the day, a win's a win, man. So I saw a lot of people, especially the non Project Marvel people, saying like, "Oh, you should be embarrassed that you barely won." Like, bro, that again, that's like any other sport or whatever, right? A win's a win.
Yeah.
We talk about that all the time. But yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm not surprised that it was so tight. Because we saw it, man. We saw it during that open mic thing where the
Yeah.
Padre was speaking. How many? I mean, man, there was a lot of people speaking against it, you know. And like you said, Mike, a lot from the west side, a lot from the south side, a lot of older people. I mean, there's just you know, there and there's not a like you said, there's not just old people versus young people or this or that. I mean, there's pockets of people. There's young people that are against it. I saw that, but generally speaking, you kind of knew the demographic, right, Mike?
Yeah. And
Generally, yeah, yeah,
you knew it was the east side was going to vote against it because
of
they're
course,
upset that the Frost Bank Center, the what was the
of course,
SPC, didn't
yeah,
materialize into anything going on over there.
yeah.
You knew that was going to happen. By the way, people are asking the question, why am I sitting like this today doing the show? You could probably tell by my voice that I'm sick. By the way, San Antonio's trying to kill me. Second time I've gotten sick after going back to San Antonio. I
They
got
don't want
food
you here, bro.
poisoning.
They don't want
I
you there, bro.
I got
Hey,
food
San
poisoning.
Antonio, San Antonio don't want you there, dog.
I got food poisoning. I believe that it was Laguna Madre that did it. Chica and I both got food poisoning. I'm
Why are
sitting
you
on
eating poor people food for, Mike? That's
because
fast food, bro.
that was the problem. That was the problem. I have a heating pad that I'm
Nah.
connected to right now. I
Mike,
feel like trash. So by
bruh.
the way, so Joe and Fernandez are going to take over the show the rest of the way. I'm going to just be on for another 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to get back to work and just relax for a while. So I apologize. I just wanted to at least take the victory lap on here. I got to
Yeah.
ask you guys a question about the Spurs and this arena. It barely passed. A little bit more
Mhm,
than 52% of the voters out there voted for this.
mhm,
Amazing that more than 200,000 people took part in this because, you look at 246,000 people voted, but only 143,000 people voted for mayor. So more than
mhm.
100. Now, I know this was a county-wide vote, and Gino
Right.
Ortiz Jones has waved the white flag. Okay. But that 5-0 start that the Spurs had, without it, wouldn't have passed. You can't convince me otherwise. You can't convince me that a 5-0 start didn't get that extra 10,000 people because, again, this measure passed by 10,750 votes. You can't tell me that 5-0 start didn't get an extra 10,000 people out there. Isn't that
I
crazy?
agree. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, we'll never know, but I agree that. I mean, again, winning cures all, man. Right, right. Winning cures all.
Yeah.
So you see the difference. Hell, I can see the difference on Twitter. Like people who never were tweeting about the Spurs, who were never going to Spurs games, and I'm not trying to be a
Yeah.
gatekeeper. The last couple of years, all of a sudden, are at games, right? I see people posting at games, and it's great. I love it, But you see the difference, right? You see the difference in, like I said, just in Twitter, where folks now are tweeting a lot more about the Spurs, are at games. We didn't see this last year or the year before, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of us stayed through it. Some of us stayed through the hard times and live tweet all the Jack Collins games and all that, and go to the games and our season ticket members. Some of us roll through it, right? Not all of us dip and come back and dip and dodge. But so yeah, Mike, I agree. I think winning helped, right? Because again, if they were losing, it'd be a bad taste in people's mouths, right? People that are on the
Right.
fence are going to say, "Why are we paying this money for a losing team?" Right? So yeah, thank God they started 5-1. I would even go as far as to say all the different things that are going on, and I know like the Jackals. I know there's a lot of different opinions about the Jackals and all that, but at the end of the day, man. It's something different. It's something new. It's exciting. It's Wemby's baby. Like that's an energy that they were out at these watch parties. I saw it on Twitter and on Instagram. The Jackals were out at these watch parties having themselves a good time. You know, the stuff that that Mike likes to say don't matter, like the Darren Fox coming out with shoes in the community. Those things will push this stuff over the finish line, in my opinion. So it's just a different feel, but it starts and ends, Mike, like you said, with the wins.
Right. It does. And there's a comment that we have from Jordan that came up a few minutes ago saying going to be another vote for the infrastructure next year.
Yeah.
That's going to be harder to pass. So we might see Gina Ortiz Jones come out of the woodwork again and try to pump the brakes on it again with a different thing
If she does though, because okay, again, she's been on the we kind of see the writing on the walls with her. Like it seemed like she was anti-Spurs, anti-Project Marv. It seemed like it, right? But she has said things like she just made a statement earlier that came out in KSAT about she's willing to, the people of San Antonio voted. She's willing to work with them. So she's started even saying like, I'm not against the Spurs or the Project Marvel. I just want an independent study and all that kind of stuff, which is all fine and dandy. But I think though, if she does start to try to pump the brakes in May, man, after saying all this, like, hey, I'm with I'm with the voters, I'm with everybody. I don't know. That's a bad look, man. That's a bad look for her. So all of a sudden, really just confirm what a lot of us believe that she is against it.
Well, there will be a lot of voters going on next year, okay? Because this year was different. 246,000 voters coming in is a big deal because there was nothing else on the ballot. You could say all those amendments, all those right-wing amendments were going to pass regardless, simply because that's just what they were. No one went to the ballot yesterday because they're like, Amendment 1, Amendment 2. No, it was property that they're out there for.
Or was it Proposition 13 or something? Like, come on. Yeah. The thing that Gina Ortiz or Jones is going to do, and even the campaign that they've run against Proposition A and B, I saw the guy speaking out on the TV yesterday, still with the disinformation. Oh, those funds could have been allocated towards other things and that we need in the city. It can't. That's not the way city politics works. And I'm not going to go on a rant about that, but it's misinformation. And this is the same thing that's going to continue when they're going to vote for the infrastructure. I'm sure Gina Ortiz Jones and her cronies are going to come out and they're going to be like, oh, no, we need to go ahead and allocate that money to other things here in the city, poverty and flood control and streets and sidewalks and potholes. But that money doesn't come from within the city. It comes from, let's say, money coming from the government. You're getting all these other types of money coming in, bonds and whatnot. And the thing is if you don't use that money for what its intended purpose is, guess what? It goes right back to the government, and you can't use it for other things. They have a budget in place. And like me and Mike have already talked about, that they have money for potholes and for infrastructure here in San Antonio. You can't get other money that you're getting from bonds or from the state of Texas or from the government and decide where you're going to go ahead and use that money. It doesn't work that way. And that's what Gina Ortiz Jones tries to push. She tries to push that narrative of disinformation. Vote no against it because we could use that money in other places. It's like, when are you all going to finally wake up and understand that what she's feeding you is a bunch of lies, for one? And the other thing is the people that vote no for Propositions A and B, they vote no. Why? Because they're like, well, I'm not going to be able to enjoy going to a game there anyway. The Spurs have already gone on record and said, look, we're going to go ahead and have a handful of tickets. Not every ticket in the arena. Let's be honest, man. Look, they can't have every seat priced at $20, bro.
Right.
You know, but they are going to have seats that are competitively priced. You know, if you're going to want to go and see a game in a brand new arena in this sports and entertainment district, you can go see a game. It's gonna be like $20. I'm sure there's going to be nights where the games can be had for cheaper, just like they can at the Frost Center. I mean, I understand that everybody doesn't make the same amount of money, but you're still going to be able to go. The people that vote no are the ones that don't necessarily have that residual income to be able to say, I'm going to enjoy the restaurants. I'm going to enjoy the fanfare over there, go to a game and all that. Look, man, you can still enjoy everything else. You might not be able to go to a game, but can you enjoy a restaurant? Can you enjoy a concert? Are you
Right.
going to enjoy the free concerts when the NCAA, Final Four comes back to town? Of course you can. There's going to be a lot of other things that are going to be happening. But if this sports and entertainment district isn't made possible by the voters, guess what? San Antonio is going to still be in the Stone Age. This was a big vote for San Antonio to push it forward, and propel it into the future. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we got the arena, so that's step one. The
Yeah.
whole other aspect of it all, which is being Project Marvel, is the next step when it comes to it. By the way, I'm looking at the election results from 2022. The reason why I'm looking at 2022 is because we're going into the midterm. So if there is another election next year involving Project Marvel, infrastructure bill, whatever the case may be, we had 226,000 people who voted in Bexar County yesterday. During COVID in 2022, there were 546,000 Bexar County residents who voted, because there you're voting for Congress, you're voting for your state rep, your House rep, for the Texas Senate. You're voting for all sorts of things. So there's not going to be this issue of, well, there's going to be a small turnout. There's a big turnout because it's a freaking midterm. And one thing that Gina Ortiz-Jones should know, the higher the turnout, the less likely she's going to win. Because the higher the turnout, where are the voters? We found out where the voters were, right? On the north side, in the far west of Bexar County. They're that area there, right? So it's interesting to see what's going on when it comes to all this. I'm glad it passed, but this is just step one. We got the arena. Now it's all about getting the infrastructure around it. And then at that point, you then pivot to what is the Project Marvel, the land bridge, whether it be renovations
Oh,
to
they
the
can't.
dome.
They're not doing the land bridge no more. They took that off the table.
Well, they did, but once funding gets going again, I'm sure it gets back on the table. That's why I'm not really too worried about it. By the way, did you notice that after the announcement yesterday of Props A and B passing, which, by the way, Prop A goes towards the Freeman Coliseum, the renovation of the Frost Bank Center to make it a year-round rodeo type of thing. That passed with even higher of support. But did you notice that Peter J. Holt, the governor of the Spurs, came out and said that UTSA benefits from all this? Does this mean UTSA basketball is going to be played there? Because talk about a recruiting. Because we've been talking about how UTSA, the Convocation Center, UTSA is trash, and that they need a new facility. New facility might be in the works over here. We see college teams play in NBA, Madison Square Garden, the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. You have those colleges play there. You see.
St. John's plays in New York, in Madison Square Garden. A lot of those New York.
So now UTSA basketball.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, and he said that. Peter J said that as soon after all this. Yeah, he said, "Hey, UTSA is a partner in this. They're gonna benefit from this." Hey, you got. I mean, hell, I feel like there's probably a big contingent of UTSA fans or UTSA folks who maybe were on the fence. That'll push you over, because
Hey,
listen,
Rick and Mike, what
there's a
about
lot
this
of
too?
benefiting.
You have UTSA already in the Alamo Dome, right? What do you have UTSA basketball in the new Spurs Arena downtown? And then they're building that brand new
Or at
baseball
Frost Bank.
stadium
Yeah.
downtown.
Yeah,
What if the
baseball
UTSA
stadium.
baseball team plays there? I mean, you have everything
Yeah.
downtown, and that would be a huge upgrade, Mike. Let's be honest, man. We've seen where they're playing right now. The
Yeah.
UTSA baseball
Yeah,
team.
Little
It's a
League football.
travesty.
This is what other cities do, man. Like this is what big cities do. Like this is what big time markets do. And again, man, I'm not. All three of us have been blessed to be able to travel and see other cities and other parts of the world. And this is no offense to anybody who's never left San Antonio. Listen, I never got into an airplane until I left for Marine Corps boot camp at 18 years old. So I never left my neighborhood before that. My parents have never left San Antonio, the neighborhood, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's not, and I'm not downing anybody who's never left the area. I'm not. I'm just telling you, like when you do go see other parts of the world and other parts of the country, and you see like you have just a bigger view instead of just so myopic. You do see that other cities do that, and that's what separate. That's what we want to be a big time city, right?
Right.
Like let's do it. Let's
So,
fucking do it.
so basically, UTSA sports would be downtown. It'd
Yeah.
be downtown.
Mhm.
Not the as Sam was asking the question. Does
Yeah.
that mean they take over the Frost? No, they
No.
would play at the new
Mhm.
Spurs arena. That they would have a vested interest in that arena. Frost is too far for UTSA. It just
Oh
is.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
So
that's good. Yeah.
downtown,
Downtown, man. Yeah,
it makes it a little bit different. It's
yeah.
accessible for all sides of town. If you're on the north side, go down 281. You're on the south side, go up 35. You're on the east side, go 37. West side, go 90. Go
Easy, bro.
10 for medical
Yeah,
center. It
yeah,
all kind of comes in.
yeah.
It's a good time. Since we've been gone, by the way, lots of sports
Since we've
things
been gone.
since we've
Sorry.
been gone, and Laguna
Yeah.
Madre tried to assassinate me.
That's what you
Mm.
get for eating poor people food. You're always talking about fast food. It's poor people food. You ate it and you got sick. That's what you get.
Just brutal, Joe.
That's what you
Uh,
get. That's
Joe,
what you get.
congratulations, by the way, on being a new father-in-law, Joe.
Yeah,
Thank you,
congrats,
Congratulations.
man.
man.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Gave
Yeah,
away
man.
his beautiful daughter
Yeah, I went ahead and
in
walked baby
marriage.
girl down the aisle yesterday. We're at the Hotel Contensa, whatever you say,
Mm.
downtown.
That's a
They
beautiful
have
hotel.
that
Mm.
little area behind the hotel right there on the Riverwalk where they have the heart-shaped island, and
Yeah.
they had the wedding coordinator, the padre came out, the one that was officiating everything there. We got to meet them, and it was nice. I was there with my daughter the whole time. Walked her down. She was happy. It was a great day. Couldn't ask for better weather, man. The weather was beautiful, not a cloud in the sky. Then after that, we went ahead and set up shop. I had to get there early and help decorate and everything. Sean did a great job. Shout out to Sean Quintero over at PF Chang's. PF Chang's did a great job. The La Cantera location. Uh, our whole family came out. They had a great time just celebrating with my daughter. And shout out to Sean and his staff for doing an amazing job. Mike Mitchell Jr. went over for a little bit with his wife. Soraya, they were there, and I got to talk with them for a little bit. Michael Sean's wife showed up for a bit too, Michelle. I saw her there. So it was good seeing some other peeps. I got to meet Mr. Chang, the guy who is in charge of running the whole deal over there at the PF Chang. So it was good to meet him. Mike, it was funny because Sean goes, "Hey, this is the guy that they do the show and all that," and he was all laughing and smiling and everything. So he likes the show. He got his seal of approval there. But it was good to meet everybody, hang out with the family. Good night. I'm just glad that everything's over there. Like, did you catch feelings? Did you get sad? I'm like, no, I didn't cry and none of that. I was actually genuinely happy that my daughter's starting the next phase of life, and
Yeah.
she's going to be moving out of here probably by December, end of December. She'll be over there with her new husband and living in Pensacola, Florida. So
Oh wow.
congratulations to them both.
Yeah. It's
Wish
a
him a lot
beautiful area.
of happiness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's a military guy,
Absolutely.
right? Or he's in the military.
He's in the military. He's in the Air
Yeah.
Force. He's a
Yeah. That's
he's
a
a fireman.
Pensacola.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Those are good guys, man. Those are very good guys. Congratulations, Joe. It's a great time for you, man, and I'm sure you're very, very proud. And
Yeah.
uh, prayers to them, prayers to them, gritos to them as well, because we do have a $5 super chat coming on in from Mario Cavasso saying, "Grito, congratulations to Joe and his daughter's wedding and Project Marvel happening, bitches."
We need a grito. We're gonna go do the dog grito or the old school. We got to do the old man for this one,
Oh
don't we?
man, oh man.
Gotcha.
Por presumir a mis amigos les conté que en el amor
Oh, there was lots
There
of
we
crying
go.
yesterday at the friendly spot where Cops Metro Alliance and those against Prop A and Prop B. It's like Tito Ortiz Jones could have been with them, right?
Uh,
But instead, it was like, no, I got to go
yeah.
crash the Spurs party
Yeah.
Again, shut up, Gina. Part 2 is going to come up next year, but very, very, very cool.
What a
Fellas,
great night.
lots to talk about today for you guys to get into. Cowboys finally made a trade, but was it too little too late? De'Aaron Fox not playing tonight for the Spurs. Dude, what's going on with that, man? What is going on with that injury? Because that has lingered more than the cranberries. Sorry, 90s reference.
I like that
Oh
reference,
God.
actually. I like that
Um,
reference. That's a good reference, Mike.
lots to go on. I'm gonna let you guys go. I've got my heating pad on right now, Joe.
Oh man,
I
you're
am
old man, bro. You're
miserable.
done, bro. You're
I
done, bro.
am
You're done for.
miserable. And
You need Chica to come home early to give you cuddles, Mike.
He needs it. Somebody said he needs to put some Vicks. Ponte Vicks, bro.
Ponte
La
Ponte
Vic.
Vic.
Vicks.
Well,
Ponte
the
like
thing is,
our grandmas were like, "Ándale, ponte Vicks, drink a Sprite, hombre, get the hell,
the-
you're okay." uh,
Chica also has food poisoning.
Yeah.
man.
We gotta get better because tomorrow's her birthday, man. By
Oh,
the way,
really?
by the
Nice,
way,
nice.
tomorrow when we're back on, don't forget to remind me about the story about how I almost got into a fight because of her at the Riverwalk on
Yeah,
Halloween night.
somebody was hitting on her.
On Halloween night,
No,
I
no.
almost
She
threw
was dressed as a cop, bro. That's why.
a sexy cop.
Yeah.
I almost threw somebody into the Riverwalk, dude.
Oh God, dude.
Oh, here we
And
go.
I just
What
told her too.
want
I
to
said,
know?
Mike,
Want to know if Fiesta fight? So I guess that
yeah.
kind of counts Riverwalk
And I
downtown
had
fight.
I
So
had just
yeah.
told her too when I saw her. I said, Mike's gonna be all, "Don't you touch her." He's gonna be telling people, "Get away from her."
Get away from her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Yeah, it happened outside of Dirty Nelly's outside because we were staying at the we stayed the first night that we were in town. We stayed at the uh Palacio del Rio, the downtown, and they have the
Mm-hmm.
Dirty Nelly's bar down there. So we were walking
Mm-hmm.
towards
Hmm.
Dirty Nelly's bar.
It's a nice area.
At this
Hmm.
point, Chica had a couple of drinks too many, but was like I was a couple of feet in front of her, and this one guy just like went up to her and was just obnoxious,
Hmm.
and I got pissed, and then he took off, and Chica was like, I don't know. Chico was just like, "Don't worry about it. Nothing happened." Well, nothing happened. I mean, she was just walking. I was like 2 feet from her. We were just walking into the bar, and that guy like jumped between us and got obnoxious with her, and didn't touch her, didn't do anything like that, but was just like hooting
Uh,
and hollering and all
yeah.
that stuff. Eh,
Alex Noriega says 0-0 record on Riverwalk fights.
Yeah, and my daughter Gabby was so funny. My daughter Gabby was with us and is telling me to calm down and like but brings both of us into the bar. And Gabby says, "Well, that's what happens when you have a baddie dad."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
did you
Facts.
die?
Did you
All right, Mike.
no. It was funny, man. It was like a 10-second incident. And like I said, Chico was just walking into the bar and somebody just tried to roll up on her. And she was kept walking. She didn't stop to entertain
Mhm.
it. But that guy got obnoxious. And yeah, I had to I was like, hold me back. Don't hold me back. So
Mhm.
All right, Mike. We'll
anyway,
go ahead and let you go, brother, so you can
All
go
right,
get
bro.
some rest.
Hey,
You
get
sound
better, man.
awful good.
Get well soon, man. Hopefully you get better. Drink a bunch of liquids, man.
that's right, man.
Ponte
Pedialyte.
Vicks, do a shot.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right,
Oh,
There you
bro.
go.
God.
Exactly. All right,
I'll
bro.
let it,
Take care,
bro.
Mike. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so it's just me and you, Rick. So what we're gonna
Hey.
do is we wanted to go ahead and just like give a shout out, like we said, to Proposition A and B. Moving
Yeah.
through it means that the Spurs have a good future ahead of them. Not only that, but it's more than the Spurs arena. I know they make it out to be just it's the
Hmm.
new arena downtown.
Hmm.
That's gonna be like one of the focal points, but it's a new sports and entertainment district. Really, that's going to be propelling the city into the future and have more opportunities for conventions, bigger concert events, other types of events come into the city. Maybe we'll see the return, like somebody had said, of the NBA All-Star game coming back to San
Yes.
Antonio. That would
Hell
be
yeah.
great.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
who wants to see that, Rick?
Absolutely.
I know it. I do. It's been
Yeah.
so many years, man. The last time that
Oh
happened was
man.
way back in the 90s, bro. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Jonathan C caught my slip. That's funny. Um. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh my God. The first thing I thought of a couple of things. I thought of an All-Star game. I know now that because the Spurs can never have an All-Star game because it's always in the middle of the rodeo road trip. Which, speaking of the rodeo road trip, there will no longer be a rodeo road trip. When the new
Yeah.
arena comes, think about that. Like that's kind of, I mean, it's kind of sad in a way just because of nostalgia, because we all grew up on rodeo road trips. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and I'm sure it's better for the players because that's a kind of grueling
It
couple of
is,
weeks where they're
man.
just on the road all the time. But I'm just
And away
saying,
from
like,
their families for a long time as
right,
well,
right,
bro.
right,
Like,
right. But
yeah.
as a selfish fan,
Yeah.
usually the rodeo road trip kind of galvanizes the team. You
Yeah.
remember back in the day, like the
Yeah.
rodeo road trip was the time when like the team kind of came
Gel
together,
together. Yeah.
yeah, gelled together, and then of course one of my bucket list things, which I guess I'll never get to do unless I can do it in the next 4 years, was I wanted to like follow the team the whole rodeo road trip. Like
Yeah.
that would be pretty badass, right? Like to literally go to the whole rodeo road trip games. That was like one of my bucket lists that I had. I've gone to a couple, like I've gone to like 3 rodeo road trip games, and that already felt like a lot. So yeah, man, I will say that's one thing that, and I'm not complaining, obviously, but not having a rodeo road trip, it does kind of make it a little like Tony Ornalis is saying, the rodeo road trip kind of brought the team together and brought character. That's true. I agree. I think those rodeo road trip games kind of did bring the team together. So I mean, it's good for the team that they don't have to go
Yeah.
through that grueling trip and they don't have to be away from their families. But I just, again, for nostalgic, my whole life there's always been a rodeo road trip, and that's always been the time where like, okay, we're gonna find out, right? We're gonna separate the men from the boys, kind of thing. Um, so no rodeo road trip is gonna be kind of interesting once the new arenas up and running, because the Frost Bank and Freeman Coliseum are gonna have all the rodeo, and they're gonna have year-long rodeo. So it's no longer gonna be like, oh, the rodeo's in town, right? Like the
Yeah.
plan is to have year-long rodeo.
Just in
Um,
February.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that'd be really good
yeah,
for that side of town because then they would be able to have a steady income coming in there.
yeah,
And hopefully that'll go help rejuvenate the surrounding area.
yeah.
Because if you have something else that's happening there just besides the Spurs games or the rodeo once a year, you have that steady income coming
Hmm.
in. It creates
Hmm.
opportunity for the people, for the community, steady
Yeah,
jobs.
yeah,
Maybe some businesses want to get built
yeah,
nearby,
yeah, yeah,
hotels, that kind of thing.
yeah,
What it was supposed
yeah,
to be before.
yeah. And a b-ball fanatic is saying maybe we could host a Super Bowl. You know what, man? Like
Who
I think
knows?
the possibilities are endless, man. The possibilities are endless. Like obviously we've done Final Fours. Super Bowl would be great. All-Star game would be great. I don't know what kind of Olympic sports they can host, but I'm just saying, bro, the sky's the limit, bro. Like, more college football, or more like bowl games or something like that. Anything you could think of, man. Anything that you think of big events. Obviously, more concerts and all that. I mean, that district again, man. I'm telling you, I was just in Phoenix, right? And I got a story to tell about the belt in Phoenix. So don't let me forget. But I was just in Phoenix for unfortunately the Spurs first loss, right? So
Yeah,
last
tell us.
Sunday, yeah. I'll tell. Okay, yeah. I live in San Diego, right? For those of you who don't know, I'm about a 5-hour drive from Phoenix. So I go there often. And every year when the Spurs come into town to play in Phoenix, my sons and I always do a father-son trip, right? We always do it, and it just so happened to fall. My son's birthday was November 3rd, so my middle son Jacob. So happy 25th birthday to him. So it was kind of like a weekend birthday thing for him. So we all went out there, me and my sons. We had a blast. Phoenix is a cool city. I tell you what, man. They don't ever they still don't forget that Robert Ory love tap. They don't forget the Robert Ory love tap. I'm not even lying, bro. So
Because they
so
in their
Phoenix,
minds that took away a chip from them,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Really,
yeah.
bro.
What's cool about Phoenix is they have like Rudy's barbecue. They have Whataburger, right?
Yeah.
They have a little flavor of Texas to you. And if you follow me on Real Fernandez on Twitter, you'll see all my posts, and on Instagram, Rick RIC_210F. You saw my inventions in Phoenix. So yeah, I definitely hit Whataburger, definitely hit Rudy's. But I'm telling you, bro, I walk into Rudy's barbecue, bro, and all my Spurs gear, and we're all in Spurs gear, and everybody's like, oh shit. And they're cool about it though. They're not like tripping. But this one older gentleman was like, hey, I'm still mad about that Robert Ory Nash thing. And I was like, bro, like that's the first thing he said to me, bro. So they ain't forgot, bro. I tell you what, I respect the fandom. I'll tell you, man, Phoenix has some pretty, loyal fans, man. They love their sons there, and I can respect the fandom. Like anywhere I go, I respect other people's fandom because I know how big our fandom is. So So Phoenix was cool. Here's the bad part. Okay. I get to the arena. I'm outside the arena. I'm taking pictures with my boys. I'm vibing. I'm having a good time. Bro, fucking security comes over to me and he's like, hey, they're not going to let you take that belt in. And I was
What was
like,
the reason
what?
why?
Yeah, I was like, what? He's like, yeah, man. You're not gonna be able to take the belt inside the arena. And I was like, why? And he was like, well, I mean, it's too big and it's against our one of our policies and X, Y, and Z. And I was like, okay, there's a sign like right there where it says what you can't take in. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
no, obviously
Size
firearms,
of a
no, yeah,
bag,
yeah, size
ito,
of a
you know,
bag, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, whatever. And I'm like, bro, where does it say anything about this belt?
A
Like,
belt.
I mean, it's a belt, bro. Like it's heavy. Don't get me wrong. Like it's a legit fucking belt, but um he's just like, yeah, man, you can't. And I was like, look, man, I was like, and I was like, look, man, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not trying to, be, cause an argument. I'm a Marine, I understand rules and regulations. So I understand you're doing your job. I go, I'm not upset with you. I was like, but show me where it says I can't bring this belt in. You're right. Like, show me your code of conduct
Your
or your
bylaw.
rules or something, yeah, something, bro.
Yeah.
Because come on, bro, what's the deal, right? So yeah, and he's like, "Well, let me call my supervisor and all this shit." So the supervisor comes and he tells me the same thing. And then this other bro, I talked to like four levels of supervisors, bro. I talked to like I kept
Jeez.
saying like, "No, I want to talk to somebody else. I want to talk to somebody else." Shout out to our chat that's powered by PF Chains La Cantera. But I was like, "Hey." Some other higher up lady came and was like, "Hey, it's all on our website." She's like, it's on our website, whatever. And I said, all right, bet. I pulled up the fucking website on my phone right there. And
Yeah.
I'm looking through it and I'm like, it doesn't say anything on your website. I'm showing to her. She's like, well, maybe because there's like a banner policy about you can't take big flags and banners and stuff, which I
Oh,
understand
like
because you
signs and
hold them.
stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because you
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
them up and they could block people, right? Like a
Yeah, yeah.
big flag or whatever, right?
Or a
Okay,
hat
I
or
get that.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I
Yeah.
get that. I get that. So I was like, hey, like I get the banners and everything, bro, but this is just a belt. Granted, I could like lift it and all that. I understand,
Yeah.
but like generally, like I'll just
You're
hold it like this on my
respectful.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I
Yeah.
took this into Dallas. I went to Dallas and I took this belt in and there was no problem.
They
I
probably
went to the
let you
Vegas.
take it into Houston too,
I
man. I
went to
mean,
the
come on.
Vegas summer. I
Yeah.
went to the Vegas Summer League on the UNLV campus. Took this belt in, no problem. So, and I told them that I said, "Hey, look, I understand that every arena is different." I go,
Yeah.
but I've taken this to other arenas, and other arenas, excuse me, have allowed me to take it in.
Yeah.
So, bro, I was heated, bro. I was so mad, bro. I was so annoyed, man. I was so pissed off, bro. Like you don't even know, bro. I was so annoyed. And so finally, after talking to like four levels of supervisors, dude, they all kept saying the same thing. And luckily, I parked right across the arena, so it wasn't a problem. Like I could take it to my truck, but they were like, "Oh, well, you could check it in to get services." I'm like, "No, it's not a problem." I was like, "I could take it to my truck." I go, "I just think this is a BS rule that you guys are just kind of." Like, I don't know if it's because I'm an away fan or like what the deal is. You know what I mean? So I was beyond heated, bro. So I couldn't take it in. I still had a good time, even though the Spurs lost. We had great seats, man. I always have a good time in Phoenix. The fans over there are awesome. And my sons and I had a great time. So it was cool. It was cool. I will be in LA tonight. I in a couple of hours. I'm gonna hit the. I mean,
Late
I'm an
tip.
hour and a half. Oh, yeah, late tip. I'm an hour and a half away from LA, which ain't nothing but a thing. So
What
I'm gonna.
time is it over there? 9 o'clock
It's
here is when
right
it tips.
now.
It's probably like 7 over
Yeah,
there, right?
7. It's 7 o'clock over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock here. 7 o'clock LA time. So I'm gonna roll out. My youngest son and I are gonna go. Just us two. Um, I think we're gonna go a little early, hit some Pink's hot dogs, which if you've never had Pink's hot
Hey,
dogs in
hey.
Hollywood, that's the move, bro. I'm
Yes,
telling you,
sir.
bro. I tell everybody, man, if you ever go to LA, man, go to Pink's hot dogs in Hollywood, man. They've been there since
Yeah,
the
man.
1930s. It's a good little spot. So my son and I are gonna go there, go early, hit some Pink's hot dogs, have a good time out in LA, and then we'll go to the game. And I'm gonna see if if the belt can go in. I'm gonna try to take the
Yeah.
belts in LA. We'll see. I'm gonna have to make like a chart of what arenas have allowed me to take the belt and which one haven't.
Yeah.
So I'll keep y'all posted if the belt's allowed in LA. So I'll be there
I
tonight.
think the belt will be allowed in LA. I don't see
I
why
hope
not.
so. Yeah.
But you know what? I wouldn't trust like, oh, check it into guest services. No
Oh
mames, way.
God.
You
Right,
never
right,
see that
right.
thing again, bro.
Bro, exactly. Oh, we can't
Yeah,
find it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, check it in
exactly.
to get services.
Exactly.
Fuck you, bro. Like
It's gone. You know, you check it in,
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
gone.
exactly. Check it in to get services. Are you crazy? Like, bro, like I'm not even gonna say how much this belt is because
It's
it's
101.
it's kind of it's kind of embarrassing to say how much I paid for this.
Yeah.
But uh I don't, you know what? I don't know what's up with the Caps 2-0. I can't tell if you're throwing shade or not, but he says Fernandez doing Jesus, Spurs Jesus work.
Oh no, he's
Again,
saying that you're representing, I guess is what he's saying.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know, but saying that Spurs Jesus is usually like the derogatory thing around here, right? We all know that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, Caps 2-0. I don't know if you're being
Maybe he's saying
if
you're
you're
being a super
sneak.
fan.
Yeah, I don't know if you're sneak dissing or if you're being real. I can't tell yet. But
Yeah.
because you made a comment earlier about Fernandez is very cultured. Again, I don't know if you're sneak dissing or not because
No,
people be sneak
bro.
dissing, bro. You'd be surprised. So if you're not, cool. I appreciate
I
you,
don't
big
think
dog.
he is,
But
dude. I think what he's saying is
okay,
like what you had to say was well spoken. You know how like not
yeah, yeah,
everybody
yeah,
can
yeah.
be able to
No, no,
go
no.
to these
No, no,
places,
no.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and I appreciate it. But you know what I'm saying, Joe?
Yeah,
People be
yeah.
doing the
Look,
Matt Dom,
he's saying
people be doing the
representing,
Matt Dom,
bro.
people be doing the Matt Diamond sneak diss sometimes. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
no,
I
he's
don't know.
saying you're
All
representing,
right,
dude.
Caps 2-0. Respect, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
My bad. My bad. My bad.
yeah, yeah. That's all he's saying, dude. But
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah, my
All we're
bad, Caps.
doing,
Yeah, we'll talk offline, Caps. I can tell you, I
yeah,
can fill you up on some of those stories, but yeah.
yeah. So the cool thing is, man, is like at least you were able to go there and you got to see the Spurs play Phoenix. The bad thing about the Spurs
Yeah.
playing Phoenix is what I was kind of telling everybody about. And
Hmm.
one of the ways that you kind of nullify the Spurs'
Hmm.
ultimate weapon in Victor Wembanyama, right, is you play him you play him physical, right? So
Yeah.
what did Phoenix do
Yeah.
right away off the bat? They
Oh,
made it a
bro.
point to go ahead and
Yep.
double
Double
team
them.
him, triple team him,
Yeah.
play him,
Yeah.
physical, get him out of rhythm early, offensively.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that was my biggest fear with Victor Wembanyama coming into this season is, I figured that he was going to play a lot better. He's going to,
Hmm.
probably play inside the paint, which was a welcome surprise to everybody. But the thing is, it's just part of the growth process here too, as well. And he didn't have a very good game. And we're not going to just
Yeah.
focus on the bat, the bat, the bat. The one thing is,
Mhm.
these types of games could be a learning experience for him. What I think this is going to be, it's going to be an eye opener because the way that
Yeah.
Phoenix played him is going to be a blueprint for how other teams can go ahead and play him as
Mhm.
well. I think
Yeah.
what he needs to do is he needs to go ahead and start learning how to recognize when that double team's coming, when that triple team's coming.
Yeah.
Because if that's happening in his mind, that should say, I recognize this is going to happen. Somebody's open. Let me find
Yeah.
that open man right away because we can get
Yeah.
an easy two. Don't be so focused on them coming up to you and you're trying to hold the ball up or whatever. I mean, you're the tallest guy out there. Hold the ball
Yeah.
up, but
Yeah.
also look for the open man. Do you have somebody making a backdoor cut? Is there somebody open on the wing for an open three?
Yeah.
What's going on? Be aware of the floor spacing and be aware of where the open man
Yeah.
is. Victor is one of the best passing big men we have in the NBA. He's a really
Yeah.
good passer. The only thing is, I think he just needs to learn how to recognize the court. He needs to have that court vision, when it comes to, okay, I'm getting double teamed,
Yeah.
I'm getting triple
Right.
teamed, somebody's
Sure.
open. And I think if he can do that, and again, it's part of the growing process, and he's learning to recognize these things happening early, it's going to be a benefit to the Spurs because he's going to be like, you know what, now I'm comfortable with taking on that
Right.
double and triple team because I know how to
Yeah.
deal with it. And I think
Yeah.
this Phoenix game, even though the Spurs got blown out, and I know it was an ugly game,
Hmm.
this is going to be a learning experience for him. And how is he going to tackle this moving forward? That's what I want to
Yeah.
see out of Wemby. How is he going to grow
Right.
from this? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Real quick, dark aeons, whatever his name is, says you get pissed off easily. I'm not pissed off, bro. I'm just calling something out, right? Like I'll just, as a Marine, of course, I'm gonna have, I'm gonna react. But if someone's calling something out, I'm gonna call it out back. I'm not gonna stay quiet. So anyway, I'm not
Yeah.
pissed off. But anyway, no, you know what? I think Miami started it though. Miami started to kind of. Lay the blueprint out. I mean, Spurs,
Yeah.
eked out that game, but Miami was also kind of playing Wemby that way, right?
No,
They were, and we talked about this. Remember, I think I said this a couple of shows ago where you're not going to beat him height for height. Like honestly, putting
no.
a big guy on him isn't going to do anything. What you got to do, they're putting small guys on him early to kind of try to keep the ball out of his hand, right? So they're
Yeah,
putting small. You watch what Phoenix did and what Miami did was they put a small guy on him to try to disrupt him before he even got the ball, right? They're trying to disrupt his moving to the basket, his cuts because you don't have to be tall to do that. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be tall. Like you just have to. And matter of fact, being low to the ground, you can kind of give him a little a push and a resistance to his waist. You know those
yeah.
you ever seen those guys that are putting like those parachute or whatever on their waist and they're like running and
Oh yeah,
it's
running,
like holding you back? Yeah, yeah,
like
right. Like the
conditioning.
parachute on your waist. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of like that. So I think what they're doing is they're putting a small guy low on his waist and kind of stopping his movement from even cutting or trying to get open to get the ball. And then once he
Yeah,
does get the ball, then you bring in that other help, that other double, right? You bring in that
yeah. The
other
weak
double
side
team.
help.
Exactly. Now,
Yeah,
what happens in that instance though is the supporting pass has to fucking hit, bro. The supporting that's the problem in Phoenix. No one else was shooting well. So whenever Wemby was recognizing the double and he was kicking out, Champagne wouldn't hit, or or somebody else wasn't really scoring the ball. So I think, and somebody said this earlier too, that like other teams have been doing this to him, but I think the supporting cast was scoring.
yeah.
So
If
you know,
Castle
you
had a good
obviously when
game.
there's a yeah, whenever there's a double, somebody's open. You know what I mean? Somebody's
Yeah,
open. So
yeah. I think
yeah,
it makes an opportunity for a good give and go action. Like if he was out there with the big elote, Cornet.
yeah, yeah,
Cornet could give Wemby the ball. Wemby recognized the
yeah,
double and triple teams coming. Cornet moves towards the ball, towards the basket.
yeah,
Wemby throws the ball right back to Cornet. Easy money, dude. Dunk, layup, you
yeah,
name it, and one. Pick and roll action could actually help as well. They need to have
yeah,
more movement to their offense. They need to go ahead and set multiple screens, keep on moving, not just being stagnant, not just standing around. They need to be able to do something there. I think that will help Wemby as
yeah.
well to roll to the basket, because he's going to be getting a lot of that attention. If you can get him further into the, underneath the basket, then give him the ball, it's over.
Hmm.
As long as he gets
Yeah,
inside the paint, he's in range, bro. He takes one step and it's a dunk. It's an easy
yeah,
layup. If he does a fadeaway, they can't stop him. It's
yeah,
all about getting him the ball in the right position for him to be, let's
yeah,
say, have the chance to be more conducive
yeah,
to do something with the basketball. I think they're going to
yeah.
start recognizing that soon here with Wemby. But doing something there, getting that pick and roll action, getting the give and go with
Hmm.
one of your big men there is going to help
Yeah,
Wemby and it's going to help the
yeah.
Spurs because then they're going to be like, you
Right.
know what, we're doubling, tripling, triple
Yeah.
teaming this dude, and we're just giving away points at that point. So they're going to have
Right.
to kind of sag
Right.
off
Right.
a little bit and
Yeah.
kind of go back to their zone or play man to
Yeah.
man, whatever they're doing out there on the
Yeah.
court.
Yeah.
And it's more of a game where okay, Wemby can thrive now, but he just has to
Yeah.
do a better job of recognizing. I'm not going to give him a lot of shit, because he had a bad game.
Yeah.
It happens. We all know that. I get that too, but again, I just want to see how he learns. That's why I was telling everybody I'm going to give it at least 20 games. I just want to see what it looks like,
Hmm.
before they like, oh, sign the Wemby apology form. I'm like, and everybody's like, good thing you didn't sign it. I'm like, yeah, one.
But I'm sure
No,
he comes back.
you see, yo, they're about to cancel you, Joe. You almost fell off the earth, bro.
There, I'm good.
Yeah, no, no, I know, but and Joe, you're my boy, and I would say like 99% of the time we agree, but I don't agree. We don't agree on the Wemby thing, bro. We really don't, bro. I don't. I think you jumped on that last year, and now you're just sticking to your guns, and I respect it. I respect that you're not flip flopping like a lot of people do. A lot of people will literally flip flop from one game to the next. Jason Garcia, he ain't my boy, dog. That's your boy, but that's on you. Yeah, like a lot of people flip flop. So I respect Joe hey, you know what, he stuck to it. But you're dying on a hill, bro. That don't need to be die. You don't need to.
Just waiting
You
for
don't
that
need to.
50-point
You
game.
don't need to die on that hill, bro. It does. You don't need a 50-point game to be generational, dude. I mean, come on, bro. I
You have
understand
one
what you're
last
saying.
year, bro.
He
Just want
can have
another
one.
one.
I know. He can have. He'll have one. Eventually he'll have one. But in the totality of things that what he's doing, averaging damn damn near 30 points a game, and the blocks and and all that. And I think it's just your pride, Joe. It's your pride of sticking to your guns. And I respect it, bro. I'm not saying I don't, because the one thing that I hate is literally, bro, you could see people flip flop within one game.
Yo,
Within the first quarter, people are like, F this
they love him
player,
and then
F
they hate him,
them,
bro.
I hate them, they suck, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the
Trade
game,
his
it's like,
ass.
I told you we were gonna win. I knew it. It's crazy. Like I literally see it within the one game on Twitter. Like people are already like in the first half. Oh, this game is over. I remember I think the Miami game, if I'm not mistaken. The
Yeah,
Miami game, it was like uh um the game is over. They're done. This
yeah,
team's this and that, and then they won, and then those same people are like, yes, 5-0. Like it's just wild to see the flip-flopping within hours, within minutes of each other. I try to stay even keel. I try not to get overly excited when they're like this is what I said this when they were 5-0. Like we gotta
yeah.
relax. We gotta relax. Like things are gonna happen. They could go on a 3-game losing streak and end up being 5-3, and everyone's gonna be like, okay, we're back to whatever. So you can't go too high. You can't go too low. This is the life that we chose. Like the theme song says. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like that's all I'm saying, bro. Like
Look at this. This
you
is
gotta
funny,
ride it
dude.
out.
Mario Cavasso says, I hope Winnipeg doesn't score 50 points within the 20 games, Joe. I hope he scores 49 on purpose.
Yeah.
Hey, we got an incoming super chat from Dark
Yeah.
Chaos.
Here comes the money.
And he goes, for a few beers, so he doesn't make the list. He says, laugh out loud.
Hey,
No, it's
look,
all
man. I,
good, bro.
I don't
It's
got
all
no hate
good.
on nobody, bro. I got love for everybody, dog. But again, I'm not gonna also just let someone sneak this, dog. Like if you're gonna sneak this, dog, just hit me up directly. That's all. That's all I ask. Real talk. You know
Look,
what? Like this show is all about love, and I'm not trying to, be hateful on this show. But if you got a problem with me, 210-792-2737. There's my number, bro.
yeah,
210-792-2737. Hit me up directly, big dog. Hit me up directly offline if you got a problem with me.
yeah. Look at this. Puro Pinche Sports says, Joe is trying to take the Skip Bayless name away from Mike for himself. He said, no, brother. Oh, look at
It's
this. Look
all
at this.
love, bro.
Caps 210. He's saying, they apologize to Fernandez. He goes, I never want to anger you. He goes, I'm also sipping on some OJ and vodka. There
Oh,
you go,
you sound
bro.
like my kind of guy, bro. That's a 4.99 super chat. We appreciate that, bro.
Thank you, man.
You sipping on OJ and vodka, bro? You sound like my kind of guy, bro. We can kick it. We can kick it.
Kick it together. Yeah, but it's funny how the Spurs fandom goes up and down and back and forth.
Mhm.
All the time. It goes like that with every game. If they're winning, everything's beautiful. The minute they lose or they get blown out, and
Bro,
you know what? It's
what?
82 game season, bro. They're gonna
Oh, it's a
be about to get
long
blown out.
season,
Any
bro.
team can get
Exactly.
blown out at any
That's what
night,
I'm
bro.
saying, bro. It's a long season. And I say it because I'm not a hypocrite, bro. I say that if they were 0-5, can you imagine what we'd be hearing? So I say it also on the whenever people are like overly negative about one game
Yeah.
or Sohan had a bad game or Wemby had a bad game or whatever. I always tell people like, man, you can't be so overly negative about one game. So
Yeah.
the same is true on the positive side, right? So I'm not a hypocrite about that. I'm a positive dude, right? Like, so, but also though, it almost seemed everyone was too positive about the Spurs. Like it was almost like too trendy. Like everybody was like all on the Spurs when they were 5-0. And it's almost like, okay, like
Yeah.
this is enough, bro. Like, so you just got to take it in waves, bro. The positive and the negative, bro. So when they started 5-0, like I'm not going to sit here and like realistically be like, oh, they're going to win a championship. It's great, man. It's great that they're 5-0. We got a long season to go. They could lose the next 10 games and then everybody will forget about this 5-0 run. But it's just you gotta, I don't know. Everyone's different. I'm not here to tell anyone how to fan. That's something that I've been accused
The
of that,
gatekeeper.
right?
You're not the
Yeah,
gatekeeper.
I've been accused of being a gatekeeper or like, oh, you're telling
Oh
people
my
how
God,
they're
dude.
supposed to fan, quote unquote. I'm not telling you how to fan. I'm just telling you like what works for me is just being pretty even keel. like not too high, not too low, not letting them ruin my
Your day and
attitude or
yeah.
what my day, just letting it ride because it's a long season, Joe. Like you said, it's a long season,
They're
bro.
not
Like
gonna go 82-0, bro.
they're
They're
not
not
going to
gonna
go
go
82 and 0.
undefeated,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Come
They're not
on,
going to
man.
go 80, 1-1. Like we got that, right? We get it. But they're on a good trajectory. They're on a good path to win 50 or 40 plus games, So I don't know. Well,
It's all
I'm
good,
happy,
bro.
man. I'm happy where they're at, But yeah, man. I think injuries. Obviously, people are asking in the chat about injuries. Yeah, man. It's plagued the Spurs, man. We still haven't seen Fox.
Yeah.
Sohan's
Here's
been
the injury
out.
report. That's
Olenek
it.
is out. Luke Cornett is out. It's
Yeah.
tough.
Here's an injury report from our friend of the show, Paul Garcia here.
Yeah.
One of my partners in crime from Project Spurs from years ago. Uh, Great follow. If you haven't followed him on the X, make sure you can go
Yeah.
check him out. And he's showing, the injury report for tonight's game. And De'Aaron Fox, he's going to be out.
I was
Still,
hoping he'd be back. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I don't, and I had said too that I didn't think he was going to come back until like mid-November, maybe beginning of
Hmm.
December, because I think they're going to err on the side of caution, more than anything, because
Yeah.
they want him to be at 100 when he comes
Yeah.
back. That way, they don't necessarily say that he's going to get injured again and miss even more games. I get it.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
Same thing
Sure.
with Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper had an injury, against the Phoenix
Hmm.
Suns.
Yeah. He was in a
Went out,
boot,
was
man.
in a boot
Yeah.
and everything,
Hmm.
dude.
It looked
I'm hoping
worse.
that.
It looked a
eh,
lot
eh,
worse than what apparently it is. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably just a calf strain or something like
Yeah.
that, like what they said. And he's going to be out for a little bit of time. He'll probably be out for maybe 2-3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
Cornette, he's still out. He's got a left ankle sprain. Harrison Ingram, questionable. Same thing with Riley Minix. He was questionable. He played a little bit,
Yeah. Well,
against Phoenix.
yeah. Minix and
You
Ingram
know
are questionable because they're G League still.
exactly, dude.
They're two-way
Exactly.
players, but I think they're questionable because they're waiting to see if
Who's gonna play?
if yeah, who's gonna play, who's not gonna play.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in Cali, like they've
Yeah.
traveled with the team, but they're gonna figure out if do they need some depth in the on the bench, right?
Exactly.
Like so, yeah,
Same thing happened with Olenek. Jeremy Sohan,
yeah,
questionable.
they're questionable.
Lindy
Well, I'll tell you
Waters the
what though,
third.
Lindy Waters, Olenek, and Jeremy were out, and now they moved to questionable. So that's a good
Questionable.
sign. They're
Yeah.
good. It's a good sign. They're moving towards the right direction. It's a game time decision for
Bring
those
him back in
guys.
prime time
I
in
would.
LA, bro.
I would love to see Sohan there. I mean, I think his defense would be great against Luca and against well, Austin Reeves might not play. Austin Reeves is questionable to play tonight. LeBron's out, of
Oh,
course, but I would love to see some Sohan on Luca, defensively. So we'll see.
it'd be
We'll
interesting to
see.
see that
Yeah.
dynamic. I mean, I would think that they would play Luca, but who knows?
Oh
He's
no,
injured a
Luca will
lot.
play. No,
Yeah.
Luca will play, but yeah, LeBron's out. Austin Reeves is the one who's questionable because Austin Reeves has been balling.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man. Austin Reeves is one of those guys. He just looks like you're a regular white dude that you'll see walking around town, bro. And that dude could ball, bro. That dude could ball. He has some like Linsanity in him. Remember that? Remember
Yeah.
Jeremy
I
Lin back
remember
in the day?
Jeremy
Like,
Lin.
yeah, yeah,
I remember that from back in the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Hopefully the Spurs can get the win. Winning cures all. The fan base will be even kill again, then they'll be happy. Mira, they won this and that, so no, and Bismack Biyombo made an appearance the other day against the
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns. They had to, man. They had to go ahead and put some
Well,
people
yeah.
out.
I mean, Bismack is basically the back. This is what's actually kind of crazy when you think about it, bro. This 5-0 run went with Bismack as basically your backup five. Like your backup center is Bismack Beyond. But I love Bismack. He's a locker room glue guy. He kind of reminds me of Gorgie Jang.
Yeah,
But he ain't him being your backup center. It's a little rough. So it's kind of impressive that the Spurs did win on this 5-game win streak without a true backup big other than Bismack. Right.
yeah.
No Luke Cornett. Jeremy isn't out there. So
Mario Cavazos is asking if 42-40 record will make the playoffs. I don't know, man. 42 last year, I think, would have made the play-in in some capacity. 42-43.
the West
I
is
think
tough.
this year,
The West is stacked. Yeah.
I think this year, if you get like 44 wins, maybe the Spurs get 45 wins. That's good enough for at least, I think, being a 6 seed. You'll still be in the play-in,
Mhm.
but you'll be a 6 seed. If they could get more wins than that, man, they'd be flirting with a 5 seed, and that's like a shoe
Yeah.
in there, dude. That would be
Yeah.
exciting.
It would be a guaranteed, 5 seed, 4 seed. Playing would be fun, but you never know, man. You get bounced in that
Yeah.
playing, man, and damn, that would
You're one and
deflate
done.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're one and done, bro. Like Kentucky, So it would be, I would love for a more secure, 6, 5, 4 seed. That's what I would shoot for. That's what I would hope for. Um, but yeah, man, it's an exciting time, man. I think, like I said, the Spurs are on the right track. They're gonna
Yeah.
have a tough schedule here soon. Lakers are what, 4-2, 5-2, something like that. Like the Lakers are not a easy team to beat in LA. Like I said, I'll be there tonight. That atmosphere is always crazy. I'll give you that. Lakers
Mhm.
fans are something else, man. So Lakers fans, you got celebs down there. You got, bro.
Mhm.
That's one thing that's crazy about going to like a Lakers game is like you never know who you're
All
gonna
the
see.
stars come
Like,
out.
bro, the stars come out, bro. You got Jack Nicholson down there.
Yeah.
You got I saw the movie Pitch Perfect, the guy that plays Bumper. I saw that
Oh
guy walking
yeah.
around. Yeah, yeah. He's a really nice guy. Uh I seen a bunch of just like
You even
random
got
stars and celebrities
singers and
that
stuff out there too,
yeah, yeah, there's yeah,
entertainers.
exactly. Oh, of course, it's LA, bro.
Yeah.
You got Michelle Beadle out there. You got Malika Andrews. One year I took a picture of Malika Andrews. Man, she was like kind of next to me. She's so sweet, so awesome. She was like, "I like your bling," right? So she was so
Yeah.
cool. So Malika Andrews from the from the various
ESPN.
ESPN
Yeah.
shows. So yeah, you'll never know who you'll find out there, man. So I love it. I'll be in LA tonight. My son and I will come. We'll go out there. My youngest son Ethan, the baller, Ethan. He just turned 18, man. So we're gonna roll out there. We're gonna have a good time. Um, but yeah,
Look at
man.
Tony
So
Ornelas. He says, Rick, go find a blonde angel at the game.
yeah, man. I mean, LA, man. LA's LA, bro.
Oh,
It's the whole world turned blonde in LA, bro. I'll tell you, man. The California
damn.
girls.
Hey, but let's talk about this too, man. This was something that Spurs fans got excited about yesterday. And that was the unveiling of what the city
Oh
edition was
yeah,
gonna look like. So they
yeah,
brought back the
yeah.
old school court. This is nice, dude. I like this. It's a
Man,
harken
that
back to
is
the old days.
beautiful. Beautiful.
And look
That's
at that,
art.
man.
It's art, bro. That's art, bro. Hang that in the Louvre, man. That's art, bro.
That's cool,
That's the
man.
old school, bro. That's my favorite Spurs logo, man. The
Yeah.
Fiesta color, bro. That brings back to the good old days, the championship days.
Oh, you know what
And
that brings
there's a
back
new
to
feel. There's
to
a new
mind.
feel to the city, bro. There's a new feel
It
to the
brings
city.
back this right here, man.
Yeah.
The OG commercial with Sean
Yeah,
Elliott,
yeah, yeah. The Sean Elliott, Taco Cabana. Yeah,
Taco
yeah.
Cabana,
Or
bro.
yeah, yeah. Or with that, you're ready for this? Dun, dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
that's
dun,
that
dun, dun,
song that
dun.
Mike
Yeah, yeah,
hates,
yeah,
bro.
yeah,
He
yeah,
hates it, dude. I'm like, why do you hate
yeah,
it, bro? It's like
yeah,
this was old school back in the day.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
hear that, you get excited as
Oh
an
yeah, you get
OG
pumped up, bro.
Spurs
Yeah,
fan,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And look, this is what it
Ish.
looked like, dude. The hemisphere
Oh
back in the
yeah,
day. The court. They were
bro.
talking
Good
about David
times.
Robinson at the
Oh
time,
yeah, yeah. Oh
Look
yeah.
at 5-0, dude.
Yep, yep. The
I mean, that's
Admiral.
the 7
The
footer,
Admiral.
man.
Navy, baby. Yeah. Bro, he used to
7
move like a
footer.
gazelle. He used to move
Look
like
at
a
him, dude.
gazelle out there. Look at that. Look at that. Holy crap. Back
Jordan didn't
then,
really
bro,
defend him.
centers
Look,
weren't dribbling the ball like that. That like
look at
people
Jordan.
forget. That's what people yeah, past Jordan, people forget, man, how like gazelle like and like no one had seen anything like that.
That
A
turnaround
seven
jumper was
footer,
money,
yeah,
dude.
a 7 footer at his size dribbling the ball like that back in the
Yeah.
90s just wasn't a thing. See,
Oh, man.
nowadays, nowadays that's not a big deal. And real quick, Ish said that there's a lot of bars and good time right outside of crypto. You're right, bro. Real talk,
Yeah.
real talk. But nowadays 7 footers hit threes all the time and they dribble the ball like that all the time. So it's not a big deal. But David Robinson, man, 5-0, the Admiral was like a prototype to a future player. Back in the 90s, the bigs were like, Ewing, Olajuwon,
Not
you're
very
back to the
athletic or
you're back.
mobile.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're back to the rim and you do your work, and all that kind of stuff, right? Those,
Man,
those were the bigs back in the day. But to
look at
dribble the
that.
ball like that and get down court, that was like a sign of the future of what was gonna come.
This was the
So
court back in the day, man. The Alamo Dome court was fire, dude.
yeah.
With the black outline all around,
Hmm.
said Alamo Dome on it.
Yeah.
At the Fiesta
Yeah,
color theme with it, dude. That was something else, man. But I like the
yeah,
hemisphere court too. So I liked that the Spurs kind of combined everything together, into one court that is appealing to the fans. The fans had asked, for quite some time already, hey man, bring back the Fiesta colors. It's a fan favorite. They said they were going to retire them, that they weren't going to go with that anymore. It was a one and done kind of thing.
yeah.
But then they had that commercial yesterday, and I think they finally realized that, you know what? The Fiesta colors mean more to the community and the fan base because it's more than just colors, bro. And
Yeah.
you've even said
There,
that in
there's
the commercials
yeah,
and the promos,
yeah. It's funny though. There's a lot of people that don't like it. Actually, there's a lot of people that don't like those colors.
Oh man,
I don't know. I don't know what it is. And I'm not trying to, because somebody said something about that Shaq call it Barbie colors.
yeah,
Um, I, I'm I don't want to offend anybody. I'm assuming like with the Barbie colors comments, some people maybe feel like they're like effeminate or something like that. Like I don't know, maybe like the big
yeah.
tough macho guys in San Antonio feel like those colors are like effeminate or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm
It
off.
had more to
I
do
don't know.
with the culture.
I don't know. I know, bro.
Yeah,
I know. But
yeah,
like even like like last year where they had a lot of that like powder blue, like the powder blue jerseys and like
yeah,
all
yeah.
the different colored
From
stuff.
the hemisphere
I
day.
rock, yeah, the hemisphere thing. Like I was rocking that, and like a lot of people were like, I don't really
Look
care
at
for
that, man.
that. Like, yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why. I'm not trying to be controversial, but I'm just saying, like,
Look at that.
I think some people affiliate those colors with um because they're pink and they're pastels and whatever they
Yeah.
are. Maybe they affiliate that with like a feminine or something like that. I don't know, man. I
'Cause
mean, I think that's crazy, but
this is
but
what
I don't. I'm trying to understand why people don't like those colors.
this right here shows you what the warm-up jerseys used to look like back in the day. See, so back in the day when the Spurs were rocking the Fiesta colors, as far as their warm-up
Yeah,
jerseys go, they didn't have like their jersey was actually Fiesta colored out. And I think the purists want to keep it that way because it was only the
mm,
warm-up jersey, the warm-up
yeah.
jackets, right?
The warm up
And,
jacket.
and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
pants that had like a stripe or
yeah,
something on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But the jersey was just silver and black, or
yeah,
white if it was an away game.
yeah,
But it was the warm-up jackets that, had those Fiesta colors. And the
yeah.
purists, the people, the OGs are like, well, no, we shouldn't have a Fiesta colored jersey
Yeah,
because that
bro.
was never
This
a
is a
thing back in
this
the
is a
day.
Fiesta
Yeah.
color mug.
Yeah.
I got the Fiesta. Yeah, I got the Fiesta color mug. I'm drinking mimosas. Damn, man, maybe someone thinks I'm being effeminate. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look at that
Now that I
though.
think about it.
Look at that though, man. Those jerseys look clean, dude. I like the black ones, the black jersey, Fiesta color jersey. And also
Clean,
they got stripes on the
clean,
on the shorts, the
clean,
matching
clean.
stripes. It looks nice.
Yeah,
It
clean,
looks
bro.
nice.
They're nice. I think the black also brings out if you're worried about effeminate colors, the black brings out a little bit of dominance. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's silly if people think about colors. Because I wear whatever the fuck I want, and I'm still me. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the clothes don't make the man makes the clothes. But
I like it, dude. I mean, I think it's
I
nice
like
that they're
it.
bringing it
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
I mean, they're gonna probably have this. They said they're gonna unveil it sometime here in November, I believe. They're gonna have like
yeah,
a 90s theme party, over at the Rock at La Cantera. And they're
yeah.
gonna, kind of unveil the jerseys there and kind of like it's a day before the actual I believe
Where
the
they wear
first
it?
game
Or,
where they
yeah,
actually
they
have that
wear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, was it the
city
12th or
edition.
something like that? November 12th, maybe
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it is the 12th. It's the day before they have the official city edition day, where they unveil the court and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
jerseys
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's the retro night, basically, which is cool,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Because they play the old school jams and all that little bit of nostalgia. You see people out there, man, rocking some old school stuff from back in the day, which is cool. Because I
Oh
like those
yeah.
old school shirts, that they had
Yeah.
Sean Elliott and they had Dave Robinson, and they had
Oh yeah. I
Avery
like talking to
Johnson,
those
dude.
I like
Yeah.
talking to those old school Spurs fans, and
Yeah.
my favorite, man, may she rest in peace, her soul, Spurs lady.
Yeah.
Spurs lady, man. Oh
Ovi.
man, I'll tell you what, Sovia, yeah, Sovia was an OG. she's been a Spurs fan, and then been she's been doing her Spurs lady thing since the '70s, bro. Like before a lot of us were born, you know.
And making her
Um,
own costumes, dude.
oh, making her own costumes, man.
Yeah.
She's looking down and smiling right now, man. She's got to look down and smile. I would urge the Jackals to kind of do some a shout out to her, you know, because the
Yeah.
Spurs lady, man.
Remembrance.
Listen, bro. Yeah, like we're all big fans, and I consider myself a pretty big fan. And, you know, got the belt and all that, but none of us can touch a Spurs lady. None of us
You
can
know,
touch her
they should have
fandom,
like
bro.
an old school night where
Yeah,
they kind of show like that old school night that's coming up, where they kind of show what happened back in the day, you know, like the
yeah,
progression in the late 80s, 90s, you know, the different
yeah,
vibe that was here in San Antonio with, you know, the people just wearing the
yeah.
shirts, you know, and wearing jerseys all over downtown, the flags flying high. Remember it back in the day, even the buildings downtown, they
Oh my
had
God,
banners and
bro.
flags
Bro, you
flying
remember the
all over the
flags on the
city.
cars? You remember everybody put
Yeah,
flags
man.
on the windows, the little
They
the
need to
little
bring that
flags and
back,
all that?
dude.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
That was the
That it's
thing,
gonna
like, if
come
you
back,
wanted to
bro.
be seen,
Oh yeah.
you know, you put the little flags all over the place, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh yeah,
still
you
have
put the
them.
flags on your car. You on the
Yeah.
window. You put them up and all that, and
Yeah.
you have your flags. And oh my God, bro! Like those were some good times, bro. Those Spurs playoff years and during Fiesta, and that's what's gonna happen, bro. That's what
Coming
Project
back.
Marvel is about, bro. Project Marvel is about bringing back Spurs playoff during Fiesta downtown. You leave a Spurs game, you walk a few, walk a little bit, and you're in Market Square, you're in La Villita, like you're at the Riverwalk, bro. Like it's gonna be, oh man, it's gonna be beautiful. It's
It's
gonna be
gonna look
beautiful.
kinda like this, man. Can you imagine? Like, they're showing right now, like, they're putting together the Spurs court, you know, for just for social media here, kinda show the
Hmm.
people what it looks like, you know, because nobody's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
seen it in person and in the context of going to a game, but they put
yeah,
it together and they're showing you what it looks like and all that. I mean,
yeah.
it's a good vibe, man. It's simple and clean, San Anto is
Oh,
what
of
it says
course.
on
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, they got the tribal little, logo, the little tribal pieces put all over the court there.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I dig it, dude. And can you imagine, like in the arena too, like all the little banners all over the place, that they have the digital billboards and all that. It's
Yeah,
gonna be all, Fiesta colored and all that, man. So it'd be a good time, man. Good time to be
it
had out
is.
there with the gente, you know?
Yeah. Oh, of course, bro. Of course, man.
Oh,
Yeah, people are asking if the baseline bums are still a thing. Yeah, they are. They
yeah,
are.
it's still out there.
They're there. They've been representing for a
Why
while.
don't they
So
why don't they like bring everything together, the baseline bums and the jackals? Because the baseline bums and the
mhm,
jackals are both like, the fans, the super fans,
mhm.
right, of the
Yeah,
arena.
yeah,
I think they should bring them together. That way you have a representation
yeah,
of the old and the new. You know what I
yeah.
mean? In
I
one
like the
section.
Jackals, man.
Yeah.
I like the Jackals. I know a lot of people have criticism, and I hate.
It's not that I hate them. I just don't like the
No, no.
name, is what I was saying. Like, I think they should have named them something different, but I mean, it is what it is.
Mhm.
It's not like I was
Yeah.
against it. I was
No,
just
no,
like
I'm not
the
talking about
name.
you. I no,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
I'm not talking about you, Joe. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, like, there's been a lot of criticism about the Jackals on Twitter, and maybe on other platforms because I don't have like Facebook and all that stuff, so I don't know what's
Yeah.
said over there. But I just seen a lot of like hate on the Jackals, and like I feel like a lot of it is unwarranted, man. It's just because, man, they had an open tryout. Everybody, it was free to go. I mean, if you didn't go, then that's on you, or if you win and didn't get chosen, then I don't know. But I don't know, man. I think it's a fun thing. I think I think it's exciting. It's something different. I've seen them in person, um, and I've heard them on TV, and I can hear it, bro. I can hear how loud they are, and I just don't know why fans that are just being loud and aggressive and chanting is a bad thing for people. Like people even started getting political about this whole thing. They were like, "Oh, the Jackals are forced to vote for Prop A and Prop B." Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know where all this came from. Like, my girl Raylan on Twitter is one of the Jackals, and she was very adamant about no one forced them to do anything. Now, granted, if you're a big enough Spurs fan to like go try out at 6 a.m. on a Sunday or whatever, are you gonna be for things like Prop A and Prop B? Probably. You
Mhm.
know, probably. I mean, that's common sense. So no one is forcing anybody to do anything, but
Yeah.
it just seems to be common sense that the type of person that's going to go at 6 a.m. to try out to be a jackal is probably a person that's going to vote yes for Prop A,
Yeah.
Prop B.
Look at this with Hanover Fist, man. He says, Jackal's not far from me. He goes, they're cool. I'm a regular in the arena. He goes, them Twitter folks not even at the games.
That's a good point. That's a very good
You
point
know?
by Hanover Fist. That's a very good point for Hanover Fist. There's a lot
Like
of
he
people
was
on
saying is they're
Twitter.
not obnoxious. You know, they're just out there
I
doing
mean,
their
they're
thing.
just no, they're chanting and they're cheering and they're doing what I mean. What's the point of their whole fan group or whatever? And
Yeah.
then I know there's that the SAFC fan groups that feel some kind of way because they weren't included or they weren't invited or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, I just think that that's kind of silly in my opinion. But I don't know. Um,
Hey,
I
look
don't
at
think that
this
has
too.
anything to do with it.
I was gonna show this because we were talking about, what they're gonna be doing out there now that, propositions A and B have voted
Hmm.
to, be passed. And this is the opening time or opening game that the Spurs had in the Alamo Dome. Remember that? Opening night.
Yeah.
And this
Oh
is
yeah,
where they had
yeah,
the
yeah,
pyrotechnics and all
yeah,
that, dude.
yeah, yeah.
And this is what it looked like, dude. I remember this game. It was a whole hour delay. They had the floor was soaking wet, dude. Like they had to get towels, so many towels
Oh
and
yeah,
mops
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that. There was tons of water all over the place, man. And this just goes to show you, like, this was the Alamo Dome back in the day. It was never meant to be like the home for the San Antonio Spurs, but they needed an arena to play in because the hemisphere was already dated.
Yeah.
And this is what the city had, at the time. This was the transition period between the hemisphere and the actual Frost Center. So the Spurs, realistically, they've only had two facilities that were actually made for them. The
Hmm.
hemisphere back in the day was their home, right? And then you had the Frost Center. The Frost Center was actually made for them to play in. The Alamo Dome was not.
Yeah.
They had
Right, right. I
they
mean,
had the
yeah, they had
notorious
to.
curtain,
The blue curtain. Yeah, they had
the
to
blue
cut it in. I
curtain.
mean, the Alamo Dome is what, a 60,000
It's
seat
a
arena.
football
Like,
stadium,
like
bro.
it's a exactly, exactly. So
Yeah,
they cut it in half with the blue curtain because
curtain,
I
yeah,
mean even cutting it in half, bro, 30,000. That's a lot, bro.
a lot of
That's not.
people.
I mean, most NBA arenas are about 20,000, 18 to
Yeah, that
20,000, probably.
was a
You
lot.
know, like 18 to 20K is about a normal NBA arena. 60,000 and above, that's like a football state. I mean, that's for football, like holy
Yeah,
shit. So, yeah. Yeah, the Alamo
this is
Dome was
way
never
back.
yeah, I don't think the Alamo Dome was ever meant to be their actual full-time home, but
It was
yeah.
just a transition, dude, from what they were doing between Hemisphere and what they were thinking of doing with the Frost Center because they really didn't have a home at the time, and
Yeah.
that was a big debate. Even back then, there was always, every time there's a vote to come up with a new arena, a new place for the Spurs to play in, because they're only the only professional sports team that are here in San Antonio. It's always a hotly debated topic. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what era they're in. I mean, the Spurs came in the 70s over here, right?
Hmm.
Then in the
Hmm.
80s, they were playing in the hemisphere. Then that stopped, and that was the time where, near the end of the life of the hemisphere arena, that's when we had David Robinson join the team.
Hmm.
And then from there they went to the Alamo Dome,
Yeah. That
and
was
that's
like
where they won their first chip.
The Gervin areas were
Yeah,
hemisphere. Gervin and yeah,
exactly,
Johnny
Gervin
Moore and
era.
those guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the 99 championship run changed things for the Spurs. At that point in
Absolutely.
time, they had already reached the end of life for their lease agreement, I guess, with the
Hmm.
Alamo Dome. And that's
Yeah.
where they were looking for a new home, and they found it because then after that, in '03, '05 and all that, they had their championships run, but they weren't in necessarily the Alamo Dome anymore. They were in the Frost Center then,
Hmm.
so it was their
It
new
was
home,
called the SBC Center back then.
SBC
But
Center.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, same building, but different name. But yeah.
Yeah. So it's just amazing, like the transition, and every time, again, they need a new home or they need upgrades, they didn't even vote on that. The Spurs were the ones that said, "Hey, we're going to go ahead and kind of gut the Frost Center at the time
Yeah.
because they were actually putting in a brand new LED lights, ribbon
Yeah.
boards all over the place, new
Hmm.
jumbotron, new sound system. They were trying to make the concourses a little bigger. They were putting in all sorts of stuff in there. I remember going in there one time because I had a meeting with them at the time, to brainstorm ideas and stuff for what would happen after, the construction and all that. And from that idea, when I went to go see and I was looking around, I mean, they didn't want you taking pictures. That's the one thing. They said you can't take pictures when you're in here with your phones. We don't want nobody
Yeah.
posting anything on social media. But from that, just happen chance meeting there, we put the seeds in there of, like I said, being a little bit more involved in the community when it came to art, when it came to doing things with your local creatives and artists and stuff. And from that little meeting that came out more and more things later on that they decided to do, because I think they were talking with a bunch of other people to kind of get feedback. What would you all like in the community, from the community, for
Mhm.
us to do, and do things like different? So I think it was a good way of kind of fostering an idea, that came into something a whole lot bigger nowadays. How you have like Nick Soup and all these other artists there that are
Oh
making
yeah.
murals, and you have artwork all inside the Frost Center and stuff like that. That's cool
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see, because you can always say, hey, you had a little part to play in it, not like it was your idea, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were saying the same thing, so they listened, and I think it's cool how you have this sports team that is so in tune with the community in a way, where they're
Mhm.
listening to the gente. And once
Yeah.
again, you see the resurgence of that, Rick, because what are you seeing? The resurgence of the Fiesta colors, on those
Exactly.
jerseys, because they had said they weren't going to bring them back anymore, that they had retired them. But again, lo and behold, they came back.
They listen to the gente, bro.
They listened
They
to the
listen to the
people, man.
gente, yeah.
They give them what they wanted.
Which is what's crazy about people who like don't like the Spurs front office or whatever, or like anything they do, they bash on
Yeah,
them, and they say things like that, like, "Oh, the Spurs are not in tune with the gente," blah blah blah. Um, when I was in Phoenix, man, I saw Brian Wright. He was kind
yeah,
of sitting a little like kind of catty corner from where I was sitting. And I looked over and I was like, "Oh shit, there's Brian Wright." And like I had walked up to go get another beer, and he was sitting down. And I didn't want to like bother him, be like, "Oh, let's take a picture." I just like reached down, I shook his hand, I go, "Hey man, I appreciate everything you've done for this team, brother." And he's like,
yeah,
"Yeah, man, I appreciate your support." And like that was a quick little interaction. And that's the thing, bro. It's like I don't know, man. Like I just seen so much negativity and criticism about the front
yeah,
office and the team, and like I just don't. I mean, most of those people I feel like are just always going to be miserable and always going to complain about something. Like
yeah,
just at the end of the day, bro. There's nothing that's gonna please certain fans that are just always have their mindset that anything the Spurs do is negative, anything the Spurs do is wrong. The front office sucks. They never make trades and moves, and they keep bringing up stuff about like Primo and like JHNSB just said, and Luka Samanic, like you just you know what I mean, again, man. And I'm not trying to tell people how to
those were
fan. I'm
miscues and
just
missteps from a while back, but
that
you got to move
anybody and
forward, live
everybody
and learn.
has, bro. I mean,
You got to
bro,
live and learn, bro.
I'm glad somebody isn't capturing every single one of my missteps and my miscues.
Yeah,
I'm glad y'all are all perfect and y'all never make any mistakes in your job or whatever you do. And that's what's funny. Like I was talking to this guy in Phoenix, and he was talking about Wemby, and he was a Phoenix fan, obviously, and he was like, "Oh man, Phoenix, Wemby had such a bad game. He's horrible. He's this, he's that." And I was like, "Hey, dog, have you never had like a bad day at work? I don't know what you do, but like whatever work you do, have you not had like an off night or a bad day or something? Like we all have. I'm a Marine, dog. You want to know how many bad days and bad nights I've had? You want to know how many mistakes I've made as a young husband, a young father? Like a bunch. A
yeah,
bunch. Like I'm glad y'all are all perfect, and like none of y'all make mistakes. So to look at the front office and point out every little nitpick thing, like, man, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. So again, man, I'm glad ain't no one pointing and picking at every one of my missteps, because I'll tell you what, I've had a bunch. I've had so many, so
yeah. Hey, we're
but
gonna start
I'm
bringing
glad
the
y'all
show
are
to a
perfect.
close here, but I wanted to talk real quick before we leave about the Dallas Cowboys, man. So the Cowboys did have a game on Monday night, and it wasn't a good showing. And I had said as much too on Friday. I said, look, man, the Cowboys notoriously they don't have a winning record against the Cardinals. For whatever reason, whatever that
Yeah.
might be,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
They just don't. And again, like
Yeah.
we've said, these are teams sometimes like they don't see very often, right?
Hmm.
And the Cardinals, man, they just played the Cowboys
Yeah.
tough on defense. The Cardinals aren't a very good team themselves,
Yeah.
But I think right now what it's going to show you, and you got to be realistic if you're a Cowboys
Hmm.
fan. You can go ahead and support the team all you want. I'm a Cowboys fan myself. The team's just not a very good team when it comes to the defensive end of things. They
Yeah.
got some issues, they got some problems. But it doesn't mean that I mean, you got, man, I'm not going to support them no more and this and
Yeah.
that. I mean, we get
Yeah.
mad. I get mad at them too, but I'm still here. I'm still going to be here. It's just disappointing, and they did make a trade and everybody was upset with the trade. But what they're not understanding, like things with the trade that they did, that's not for right now. They're trying to set themselves up for the future. They know what's going to
Yeah.
happen this season, dude. They're not dumb, you know?
Yeah.
They know exactly what's going on, but you got to start making some moves. And I think this is a signal in the right direction. Now that they went ahead and let Micah Parkins go, I think they understand the assignment, that they have to go out there and they got to get some guys because if they really want to compete, they know they need to take care of the holes they have on their defense right now. If you can go ahead and get a passable defense out there, even if you're not scoring a lot of points, that defense can still help you win the game. And right now, that defense isn't doing the Cowboys any favors. And I
Yeah.
think Jerry knows that, and
And that's
hopefully
why he made. That's why he made a
he makes the
move.
move.
That's why
And
he
but
made
they
the
get mad.
move.
But they get mad. That's the thing. It's like they get mad because they're like, it's not going to happen. It's not a good move for it right now. Look at where they're at right now in the season, man. It's going to be really hard for them to kind of get back in the race and win that division against the Eagles. Unless the Eagles
Hmm.
start losing a whole bunch of games, more than likely it's not
Yeah.
going to happen. But if you can start making moves for next season, that just helps your cause better. So hopefully the Cowboys can make some changes there in their defense and make some trades or whatever they got to do, pick up some
Yeah.
players, get the team better, come back even better next year. Hopefully they have more of a balance, not just on offense, but on defense. But it is what it is this season, man. It's not
Hmm.
like you can complain all you want. You're going to change the product out there on the field. You can support them or you don't. Turn it off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, bro. Exactly, man. And I mean, yeah, and I get it, man. I understand people's frustration with the Cowboys, bro. Trust me, I do, bro. I really do. But like you said, man, you're either gonna support or you're not. And then you got the haters like Mike who are not even Cowboys fan but keep up all the time.
Oh, they
All
watch
them
the
Saints,
game every
all
weekend,
them
bro.
all them Saints fans be watching the Cowboys. Like I never watch a Saints game, bro. I don't give a fuck about a Saints game, dog. Like I'm not gonna sit there and like watch a Saints game or like find out like oh what the score was or what their stats are like give a fuck about the Saints, dog. But you got all these
Yeah.
Saints fans led by Mike that fixate on the Cowboys, right? Oh, they lost. Oh, they did bad. Oh, they did this. They did that. Like, bro, like you are more worried about your Sancha team than your own team. You know what I mean? So it's like being married and you're like focusing on your ex and her kids. You know what I mean? Like worry about your own kids, dog. You know what I mean? Like if you're a Saints fan, if you're a Texans fan or whatever, worry about your own kids, dog. Don't worry about my kids. That's what it's like. It's like you over here with your kids, but you're paying attention to that other chick and her kids. You know what I mean? Don't worry about them kids, bro. Worry about your own kids, big dog. So Dallas finally made moves. Is it too little, too late? Maybe. Maybe the record's gonna tell itself, but I like the move though. I like that
Yeah.
dude from the Jets. I mean, he's a big boy. He's a big defensive guy. And then we got the other middle linebacker. So Jerry at least is showing that he is making moves and trying. Like normally
Yeah.
Jerry won't make moves like this. So
Yeah.
Jerry won't make moves like this. So to me, I mean, I think that's a good step. It's a good step in the right direction. I
Yeah.
wish it would have came earlier, but you know,
You can't change what's going on right now with the Cowboys and their
yeah,
season. I mean, you can try to
yeah,
go ahead and add some pieces and hopefully they get a little better, but the record is who they say they
yeah.
are right now,
Oh, yeah, but
unfortunately,
but but but
No, we lost Rick. Hopefully we get him back. It says, and Orpheus says, we're getting overshown by the reveal after bye. Okay. Saints really do live off the 2009 title and them non-PL. Don't say that to him, man. The Saints fans hate that, dude. When you could start talking about that one game they had against, what was it, the Vikings, in that no call. That's just as bad as the Dez catch, man. Was it a catch or was it not? So let me see if I could get Rick back on. Oh, you know what? Before we start bringing the show to an end here too, we gotta give
My
some love
bad, bro.
too, Rick. I almost forgot, bro. We gotta
My
give
bad.
some love to PF Chang's, bro.
Oh,
I
of
didn't play the
course, of
video.
course.
Let me go ahead and do
It's
that
wine.
now.
It's Wine Wednesday, baby.
Yes, sir. PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast. And thank you for PF Chang's, for sponsoring the
man.
show. PF Chang's La Cantera. Go make sure you go and let Sean Quintero know that the Area 210 sent you. And today is Wednesday, so it's Wines Day. So today you get half off bottles of wine and champagne every Wednesday, all day.
Jeez.
That's gonna be good, man. You can get you some
I gotta get
prosecco. You
that.
can go get you a
Yeah,
good bottle of wine.
I got next time I'm in town, bro. I gotta plan. Like I look at my schedule, and I usually come like on a weekend, but I gotta make my schedule to work on a Wednesday so I could be there for that Wine Wednesday because that's the move. That's the move.
Yeah.
Sam had a really funny comment. He said, what did he say? He said, from now on, whenever Mike talks bad about the Cowboys, I'm going to tell him to stop trying to discipline my kids. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
Mike.
Exactly, bro. I'm telling you, bro, that's what it's like. I don't know how else to describe it. Like y'all, there's Saints fans, there's Texans fans, there's whatever fans they are of whatever team, but somehow they're just like ingrained in Cowboy stuff. Like they love to,
Yeah.
be like, "Ha, Cowboys do bad," or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, worry about your own kids, dog. Don't worry about mine. Don't worry about
Look at
mine.
this,
You got your
Greg
own shit to worry
Betinuela.
about.
He says the chicken lettuce wraps. What's up, Greg? I just saw Greg at Sean's Halloween
Yeah.
party on Friday. He goes, delicious, by the way. They are, dude. We're talking about that too when we're
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sean's Halloween party on Friday. So shout out to Sean for that
Yeah.
and the
Shout out to Texas
hospitality.
Latina, man. Texas
Yeah,
Latina knows what's up, man. She knows what's up.
she's
She
been
says
joining
they're
the show.
America's team. Yeah, she said they're America's team. Everyone's always talking about them. Exactly.
What did I say? All eyes on the star every Sunday, dude.
Exactly. All eyes on the star, bro.
All
Come
eyes.
on, bro. That's
All
why they're
right, man.
America's team because y'all keep watching.
Yeah, every day, every weekend, dude. They watch us every weekend.
Yeah,
They're just
exactly.
waiting for them to lose, bro. They want them to lose so
Oh,
they
of
can
course.
talk crap.
What did Floyd Mayweather say? You're watching me to lose or watching me to win, but either way, you're paying to watch me. Yeah, I
It's
mean,
for the rating.
exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, dude. So we're gonna go ahead and bring the show to an end. But Rick, where can they go ahead and follow you on the X?
Oh yeah, man. Please go ahead and give me a follow at Real Fernandez on Twitter. I appreciate y'all. If you have Instagram, Rick RIC underscore 210F. Go ahead and give me a follow, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I'm not trying to be
There you go.
aggressive to some people, but there you go. Check out my pin tweet. It's a classic. But yeah, man, I'm not trying to be aggressive to anybody on the chat. I don't care for sneak disses and all that kind of stuff, bro. Real talk. Like, if you really want to have a problem, like I said, man, you have my number. I gave it out right here, 210-792-2737. Like, if anyone has a problem with me, they can shoot me a text, they can shoot me a call, and we could talk about this man to man. But yeah, man, real talk, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat, and I appreciate Joe and Mike having me on this platform.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today, man. We're gonna go ahead and bring the show to a close because I got to get back to work.
All right, I got to get to the beach. So
yeah, man. Was it
yeah.
day number what of furlough?
Oh my God, dude! What? Yeah, it's
40?
what's today? Yeah, what's today? The 5th or November 5th, right?
November
So
5th.
36 days. Yeah, 36
Damn.
days of no job. No, yeah, I have no job. I haven't had a job for 36 days. I haven't been paid for 36 days. JHNSB says shameless plug. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Turner and Alice
Man,
knows. Yep, 36 days, man, of no
36,
job
dude.
and no pay from the last 36 days. So I'll be in
Damn.
LA tonight for the Spurs game. So to see, hopefully I can get the belt in. We'll see.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Let us know if you get the belt in, dude. Take a
Mhm.
picture. Let us
I
see it
will.
on the X.
I will. I
All right,
will.
man.
Yeah. If I could get the bet on ESPN, that'll be the move. So we'll see.
Hey, there you go. All right, man. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a show. We'll see you boys tomorrow. Hopefully Mike will be back. Go ahead and give him some prayers and send him some super chats, maybe for some Vicks or something. So
Yeah.
Chica can rub the Vicks, do the sana on them,
Yeah. Yeah. Culito de rana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we'll see you boys tomorrow. Stay safe. We're out of here. Peace.
Oh yeah. Stay puro.